She had spoken about, as I say, many times, and Christmas was coming up, and she had said that she would wait till after Christmas, that, talking about wanting to die, I said, we'll have a really good Christmas, and let's, have the family here and make it a special time. But obviously she couldn't wait, even though she had wanted to. And I had gone to bed about midnight, and I'd been in bed about an hour, and there was a knocking, and I sort of went into Lynn's room a little bit, sort of tetchily, snapped a little bit. What do you want? I've just been in bed, a little while. And she just looked at me with tears in her eyes and held up an empty syringe, which was her slow-release morphine that went into her leg, and it was empty. And she had connected it to her Hickman line, which goes straight into a vein, so into her blood circulation, and she'd injected the 24-hour dose straight into her Hickman line. Yeah.
She needed more morphine, though, to be sure.
Yes, I mean, she must have thought that what she had taken would be enough, but found that it wasn't. She was still awake, and that's why she had to call me. And I'm grateful for that, because it gave me the opportunity to have some time with her at the end. But I sat and talked to her, and she asked me to get more morphine, and I tried to talk her out of it, and she told me how she felt again, and I did understand, because I'd seen everything she'd been through. I did understand why she needed some peace. And in the end, I agreed to get more morphine. She said, if I could get it myself, I wouldn't ask you, Mum. I'd crawl out of this bed and get it myself. But she couldn't, so I was the only person who could get it for her. So I did, and I came back in, and I went to connect it to her Hickman line, and she just gently pushed my hands away to say no. And she took the syringes from me and connected them herself, and pushed the morphine in, and went unconscious.
And died shortly after that?
It was some time before she died. It actually took her 29 hours to die, and I stayed with her the whole time, and I didn't sleep or eat or drink or anything, and she did show signs of distress in that time. And about 12 hours later, and I then realized that she hadn't had her normal medication for adrenal failure and for anticonvulsants for the fits and all kinds of things, and her pain relief, her slow pain relief, because even though she'd had a huge amount of morphine, it would not be acting as a pain reliever anymore, because morphine goes through your system quite quickly, even if it had done damage to her organs. So I worried she was suffering, and I gave her normal pain relief, and she settled again. And then it took all that time for her to actually stop breathing, and then I called for help.
Did you have any regrets at all during that period?
No. I had a terrible struggle going on within me, because Lynn was my life, and I loved her more than anything, and I didn't want her to go, and I kept reminding myself of her words. She'd written an advance directive, like a living will, and a letter of wishes, and letters to her doctors and everything, and she had said that when she didn't want to be resuscitated, she didn't want treatment for certain things. And she said if she wasn't able to tell people that, she trusted her parents to do the right thing for her and not for themselves. And that's what I had to keep telling myself, because I wanted to keep her with me. But I had to respect that somebody who had been so brave and endured so much deserved to be able to choose whether or not they wanted to continue suffering like that or find peace. So I felt I did do the right thing.
Now, you were grieving then the death of your daughter, Lynn, And then they charged you with attempted murder.
Yes. I was expecting to be charged with assisted suicide and immediately said that I had helped Lynn. I didn't keep anything back, and that was what I expected to be charged with. I never dreamt that I'd be charged with attempted murder. It never entered my head because that word in relation to my relationship with Lynn just didn't fit in at all.
What happened at the trial? What did the jury decide?
The jury listened to the evidence and thankfully decided that I was not guilty of attempted murder.
Did they find you guilty of assisted suicide?
They didn't have to, because I had pleaded from the beginning and all along. I pleaded guilty to assisted suicide. They didn't have to judge me on that. It was on the attempted murder. So that was really their job there, to decide on that. The assisted suicide, had the Director of Public Prosecution's new guidelines had they been in place at that time, all the points that he indicated would make it that somebody was not prosecuted. I could tick the box for all of them.
And what was your punishment for assisted suicide?
The judge, he gave me the smallest thing he could, really, and he gave me a 12-month conditional discharge, and he also spoke to say that he didn't understand why I had been brought to trial and for attempted murder.
You continue to work for ME Research because the death of Lynn at such a young age, having suffered so much, followed by the post-mortem, revealed the extent of the pain that she'd been going under for so many years, and also the fact that this is proof that ME truly is a neurological condition.
Yes, I will always continue to work to make people realise that it is a serious condition. That was very important to Lynn. Even though she was so sick, she always wanted to do whatever she could to help people realise that. So I'll never stop that. And I also, as well as wanting it to be accepted, I want to try and help more money go into research so that there is a diagnostic test, and that hopefully one day everybody will know the right thing to do, how to treat patients with ME, and also awareness to treat them with respect, that here's a person, a human being, an ordinary person suffering in a terrible, terrible way, and they don't need to be ridiculed or insulted. They need to be treated with respect.
Well, the book is called One Last Goodbye. It's published by Ebury Press. The price in sterling is $6.99, probably about €8-9 here. But its author and mother of Lynn, Kay Gilderdale, thank you very much for joining us on our programme today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.